I love coffee. I love it so much. My throat sounds funny. I think it's hay fever. Hello all, welcome back to my channel. Today I felt like filming a things that I've been enjoying video. So things that I've enjoyed throughout quarantine. It would have been like a monthly favourites, but by the time this goes up, it'll be like a week or two into May. So I've got a few books, a podcast, and a TV series, I think. There's not really any makeup stuff that I've been enjoying because I haven't really been wearing it. I'm wearing it today just so I don't look like a dead corpse on your screen. So I'm first going to talk about a podcast I've been enjoying by Phineas O'Connell, who is Billie Eilish's older brother, and his girlfriend Claudia Sulewski, who is a content creator and a YouTuber. It actually started, they were going to do it anyway, but it started the first week of their lockdown, which was maybe a week before we went into lockdown in the UK. It's quite good. I think it's on like week 7 now, but it's enjoyable because they're kind of talking about things that I feel like I'm going through as well. It feels like you're just listening in on some friends having a chat, which is really nice. Next up is a TV favourite that I've had. I've just finished watching Normal People. I haven't actually read the book. I'm currently reading Ollie Ollerton's Breakpoint, and if you don't know who this man is, he is one of the SAS DSs from SAS Who Dares Wins. It's my favourite TV programme. I need to talk about that anyway. I'll talk about that after this. I watched Normal People, binged it in about 3 or 4 days. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was very like emotional, and a lot of people said it's very relevant and they can really connect with the storyline. For me, I didn't really connect with the storyline as much because I have no love life. But I did connect with other parts of the storyline, like friendships and stuff like that. But the relationship stuff, not so much. But yeah, it was really good. It was very well made as well. Little media nerd, I was like, oh, I love it. Second thing, I've loved the new series of Celebrity SAS. It's just my favourite TV programme that's on. I love it every year that it comes out. I don't think I'd be able to do it. I would literally, I'd fall over running. I'm getting stronger. I've been doing a workout every day with my little sister just to give us a bit of structure in the morning. We really enjoy Zanna Van Dijk's ones. They're really good. I'll link them down below. My favourite ones, just really good hit ones. We did one yesterday that was every other move was a hit and then a ab workout, so it's hit, ab, which was really good because it kind of gave you a bit of like time to rest in between the really high intensity stuff. And she does a really good core burn one, which you really feel, and I feel like I might be getting abs. Probably not, but I feel like I am. And then on to books. I've really been enjoying Ollie's book. It's quite interesting. I don't like to read too much non-fiction all the time because it's something I find harder to pick up. I enjoy it whilst I'm reading it, but it's something I struggle to actually pick up the book to start to read. But other books that I've been reading a lot on my Kindle. I've actually screenshot the blurbs of them and the synopsis because I'm really bad at describing books. So I always end up like spoiling stuff.
I don't mean to.
I just struggle to describe it without going off on a tangent about it. So, first one I read was called The Man Who Didn't Call. I really enjoyed this. I didn't realise what way it was going to go. I thought it was just going to be a bit of a like romancy drama, but it did kind of turn a bit slightly more, a little bit thrillerish, but not that thrillerish. I'm really bad at explaining books, so I'll just read the blurb for you. Imagine you meet a man, spend 7 glorious days together and fall in love. And it's mutual. You've never been so certain of anything. So when he leaves for a long book holiday and promises to call you from the airport, you have no cause to doubt him, but he doesn't call. Your friends tell you to forget him, but you know they're wrong. What do you do when you finally discover you're right? That there is a reason, and that the reason is the one thing you didn't share with each other. The truth. Ooh. I read The Handmaid's Tale. Please don't come at me, A-level English students, but I thought it was going to be a lot better than I found it. It was written very well, but for me personally, there just wasn't enough of like a storyline. I felt it was very descriptive and the descriptions were very good, but I found it hard to pick up and read because I was like, where's it going? It wasn't really like a strong storyline. It was like, oh, and then this happens, and this. But it wasn't like a, and then this happens, and then this happens, and you're like, oh my gosh. Like it only kind of started to get a bit like that towards the end. And then it ended and I was like, ah, great. And then the next one I read was The Other Wife. It was good. It was a thriller. It was very good. Susie did a bad thing. She's paying for it now. Pregnant, scared, and living in an isolated cottage with her jealous husband Nick. When Nora moves in to the only house nearby, Susie is delighted to have a friend. So much so that she's almost tempted to tell Nora her terrible secret. But there's more to Nora than meets the eye. Does she already know what Susie did? Ooh. Meanwhile, Elle spends her days in her perfect home, fixated on keeping up appearances, but when her husband betrays her, it unravels a secret going all the way back to her childhood. She'll do whatever it takes to hold on to him, even if that means murder. Ooh. Caught up in their own secrets and lies, these strangers will soon realise they have more in common than they could ever imagine. When the shocking events bring them together, their lives will never be the same again. Oh, that one was really good. I really do recommend that one. Then I read The Tattooist of Auschwitz, which was amazing, and I felt like I really connected with that book. I think maybe because I've been to Auschwitz. I went there when I went to Krakow in November. I think when you've been, you really just visualise. It's like when they're talking about things, you're like, oh god, I've been in that building. In 1942, Lael arrived in Auschwitz-Birkenau. He was given the job of tattooing the prisoners marked for survival, scratching numbers into his fellow victims' arms in indelible ink to create what would have become one of the most potent symbols of the Holocaust. Waiting in line to be tattooed, terrified and shaking, was a young girl. For Lael, a Jack the Lad, a bit of a chancer, it was love at first sight, and he was determined not only to survive himself, but to ensure this woman, Gita, did too. It's emotional. I didn't cry, but like I could have cried. I'm just not a very emotional person. I don't cry that much, but I was on the verge. I just didn't cry, but I felt emotional. So take of that what you will. The last book I read before I read Ollie's was this one called Flatshare. This book, really recommend it. It's a rom-com. You know what's going to happen. It's nice and easy read. I've just read Tattooist of Auschwitz, so I was a bit like, I need something a bit more easy after that emotional turmoil. So Tiffy Moore needs a cheap flat and fast. Leon works nights and needs cash. Their friends think they're crazy, but it's the perfect solution. Leon occupies the one-bed flat while Tiffy's at work in the day, and she has the run of the place the rest of the time. But with obsessive ex-boyfriends, demanding clients at work, wrongly imprisoned brothers, and of course the fact they still haven't met yet, they're about to discover that if you want the perfect home, you need to throw the rule book out the window. It was really good. I really enjoyed that one. I just like couldn't put it down. It was like very much like a, oh, let's read. So yeah, if anyone has any recommendations for me, any book recommendation, any podcast recommendations, any TV, any films, any songs, anything, if you've got anything to recommend me from what I've told you I've enjoyed, pop it in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you've also been enjoying, so tell me what you think I'd enjoy, tell me what you've been enjoying. I want to know, I want to have a bit of a conversation with people, because I
don't have many of them at the moment.
So thank you all for watching my video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.